KUSI News at 6 is live now.
And a disturbing report tonight on the H1N1 flu outbreak at 2 California summer camps. One occurred in Northern California in the town of Livermore. The other closer to home in Julian at Camp Marston on Pine Hills Road. KUSI's Kristen Casado is covering all of this tonight for us. She joins us live from Alvarado Hospital in La Mesa. Kristen.
Alan, we are talking about a specialized camp for kids with moderate or severe asthma. It was held, as you said, at Lake Marston from June 21st to the 26th. And half of the campers who went from all over Southern California developed flu-like symptoms. Apparently 47 kids from San Diego were there. Half of those kids got the flu, and 2 were eventually diagnosed with H1N1, formerly known as the swine flu. Those kids were hospitalized and have since been released. There are some reports that parents at the camp were didn't do more to tell them earlier that the kids were sick. The American Lung Association says they're looking to make sure everything was done the right way.
When they boarded the buses for camp, they didn't have any symptoms because we screened them for that. And then when they were at camp, they developed symptoms and then, of course, exposed other children. And so we were seeing a sequence of events where kids were getting sick closer to the end of camp.
Whether parents should worry or not, there's a fine line between being careful and not wanting to cause panic. So if there's a child that's febrile or coughing or sick, you probably don't want to send them off to camp.
So Dr. Mayer says if it was his kid, he'd send him to camp. It's kind of like school. If your child has the sniffles, send him. If he or she has flu-like symptoms and a fever, keep them home. Now, this information was just released this afternoon. There is one confirmed case of H1N1 and one suspected case at the South Bay Correctional Facility in Chula Vista. Apparently, according to Sheriff Bill Gore, all of the affected inmates in that affected module have been isolated. They will stay isolated. They have been given Tamiflu. They're not going to have any court appearance outside the module at all, and they're not going to be mixed in with the general population at the jail. So you think a camp has a lot of close personal contact. Imagine jail. So taking precautions there as well. We are live at Alvarado Hospital. Kristen Casado, KUSI News.
All right, some current concerns tonight on both fronts there. Kristen, thank you.
The KUSI News at 10 is live now.
Back here in San Diego, the H1N1 flu virus continues to be a major concern. A 36-year-old man has become the 5th person in San Diego County to die of H1N1. And now parents are reacting after their children at summer camps have been diagnosed with the virus. KUSI's Kristen Casado is in the newsroom with more on that. Kristen?
One of the places where kids got sick at Camp Marston near Julian in the last week of June. Now, July and August are big summer sleepaway camp months. Should parents be concerned? Teacher Jean Galindo knows all about the H1N1 flu. Her family was living in Mexico during the outbreak, and she and her son had to wear masks for weeks at school. News about kids at camps in the San Diego area coming down with H1N1 doesn't really worry her.
I wouldn't keep him from going to camp, our 12-year-old, just because of the swine flu. Just right now, there's so few cases that I think I'd probably still send him.
Half the kids who went to SCAMP in late June, a camp for asthmatic kids near Julian, were diagnosed with the flu. 2 had H1N1 and had to be hospitalized. A spokeswoman from the American Lung Association said the kids did not arrive at the camp sick.
Every camp for kids with specialized medical problems is going to have to take a close look at whether we can offer these camps if there's H1N1 influenza circulating.
Doctors say it's common for viruses like the flu to spread in places where people spend time in close quarters, like at camp. Infectious disease Dr. Richard Mayer of Alvarado Hospital says if your child has the sniffles, it's okay to send them to camp.
Things you need to worry about are high temperatures, 102, 103, cough, body aches and shakes, but a little cold's okay.
Hi! Hi! Back at Lake Murray, parents are taking precautions while trying not to be paranoid about their kids getting sick.
So there's kids everywhere else, like I'm in the parks. You can go even SeaWorld, Disney, all over our kids. So I don't feel any concern to send my kid to a camp.
The American Lung Association did say today that if the H1N1 flu virus is around next summer, they may not have the camp. Many parents of kids who were there are asking why they weren't told earlier in the week that so many campers were getting sick. Paul, back to you.
And what about the cases at South Bay Correctional Facility? What's happening there?
Well, according to Sheriff Bill Gore, there is one confirmed case and one suspected case of H1N1 in the jail in Chula Vista. All the prisoners in the affected module have been isolated, given Tamiflu. They're not going to go to any outside court appearances, and they will not be mixing with the general population.
Well, that's good to hear. Thank you very much, Kristen.